everybody. I'm so happy to see you guys today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hi, Angelica. Hey, Benjamin. How you doing, Benny boy? Hi, Kaden. Hi, Giovanni. Hudson, Umberto, how's it going? Hey, Jacqueline and Joshua. Hi, Luke. Hi, Maddie girl. Hi, Max. Hey, Noah. Hi, Suri. Suri, I finally met your brother today. Hi, Sophia C and Sophia S. Tyler, how's it going? I saw your mom at pickup today. Valentina saw your mom too. Vanessa saw your mom too, and so many others. I was so happy that all of you showed up to pick up your packets. So I'm so excited. In a couple weeks, we're going to be talking about those. But today, I'm so glad that you joined me for Story Hour. We're going to be reading a St. Patrick's Day story called Jamie O'Rourke and the Big Potato. Now, I'm very excited to share with you the author. His name is Tommy DePaulo, and this is the real author, the person that wrote the story. How cool is that? And he's written so many other stories like Hello Big Anthony and Straganona and so many other fun things that hopefully we'll get to. All right, guys? So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our story. Jamie O'Rourke and the Big Potato. Jamie O'Rourke was the laziest man in all of Ireland. He would do anything to avoid working, especially if it had to do with growing potatoes. Jamie O'Rourke, his wife Eileen, would say, "We'll have nothing to eat this winter if you don't go out and dig up the potatoes." "Oh, the saints preserve us," Jamie would whine. "Me back's as sore as can be. Sure as I'm telling you, wife, you'll have to dig them up yourself. I'll break in two if I so much as get up out of this bed." So Eileen, who had done all the planting and watering and weeding anyhow, would go out into the tiny garden and dig up the smallest potatoes in Ireland. All because Jamie was too lazy to dig a larger garden and had no money to buy potato seeds. Then poor Eileen, she wrenched her back and she was laid up in bed. St. Bridget and the Virgin Mary herself must have smiled down on Eileen O'Rourke. The village women said, "Why, it's the first rest she's had since she married that old Jamie O'Rourke." With Eileen in bed, Jamie began to worry. No Eileen to dig the potatoes all winter? Well, that meant no food for him. "Oh, poor me," wailed Jamie. "I'll starve to death. I'd best go to church and confess to Father O'Malley. There's no telling how soon old death will be knocking on me door." So even though it was midnight, Jamie set out for the church. He was about halfway down the hill when he heard a singing and a tap, tap, tapping sound. "Well, sure, and I wouldn't be knowing," Jamie whispered, "but I swear it's a leprechaun." And sure enough, sitting in a circle of ferns in the moonlight was a leprechaun singing and hammering tiny nails into the heels of the fairy boots he was making. And Jamie knew just what to do. He crept up and grabbed the little man by his coattails and he held him firm. Let me go, the leprechaun shouted. "Not on your life," Jamie said. "Not until you show me where you're keeping your pot of gold." Well, now everyone in Ireland knows that leprechauns make boots and dancing shoes for the fairies. They pay them for the gold. And everyone knows that if you catch a leprechaun, he'll pay for his freedom with his pot of gold. But this leprechaun was cleverer than most. "Oh, please, Mr. Mortal Man," the leprechaun pleaded. "I'm just starting out making fairy shoes, and I only have 1 or 2 pieces of gold in my pot. Won't you take a wish instead?" "Why, what would I wish for?" Jamie asked. Me who's about to die of starvation because my wife is sick in bed and can't dig up the potatoes for the winter. And they're such puny potatoes anyhow. Well, said the leprechaun, reaching into his pocket, you could wish for the biggest potato in the world. It would last all winter, and you wouldn't have to do anything more than plant this little seed, water it, and wait. Well, that sounded wonderful to Jamie. Done, he shouted. And as the leprechaun dropped the seed into Jamie's hand, Jamie let go of his coattails, and off that leprechaun scampered. When Eileen heard what he had done, she was furious. Jamie O'Rourke, you're not only the laziest man in Ireland, but a fool as well, giving up a pot of gold for a potato seed. Well, I'm going to plant this seed and water it, and you'll see, Jamie said, and out he went. And faith and begorra, Eileen did see. In no time at all, the biggest, the finest potato plant had sprouted out of the ground, followed by a huge potato itself. It was so big, it pushed up not only all the dirt in the garden, but the garden shed and the corner of the little cottage as well. Well, surely now it's ready to dig, Jamie said proudly. He hoed all around it, but he couldn't dig up that potato out of the ground. He got a beam and a big rock, and he tried to pry it out. He pushed and he pushed, but it wouldn't budge. And as he was pondering what to do, his neighbor passed by on his way to the village, and he couldn't believe his eyes. He couldn't wait to tell everyone in the village what he had seen. And before you knew it, the hill up to Jamie's was filled with villagers coming to see the big, huge, ginormous potato. Where did it come from, they asked. Well, Jamie had told them about the lucky night that he had caught the leprechaun and how smart he had been. Why, anyone could have gotten a pot of gold, he bragged. But the biggest potato in the world? Well, that took some doing. However did you outsmart a leprechaun? They all asked at once. Jamie hesitated, and he scratched his head. Well, we'll help you dig up that potato, Jamie, if you'll tell us how you did it. And they grabbed shovels and hoes, and they started to dig. They dug and they pushed and they shoved until that big fat potato flew out of its hole. It rolled down the hill faster and faster until it reached the bottom, where it bounced up high and came to a stop, wedged between the stone walls on either side of the road. What to do now? What to do now? That potato is so big that no one, no cart, nothing can get by it, the constable complained to Father O'Malley. How's a body to get in and out of the village? What shall we do? The villagers wailed. Then they all looked at Jamie and said, It's your potato. You move it out of the way. Well, Eileen spoke up. There's more than enough potatoes for everyone. Why don't you all take some? So the villagers sawed and chopped and sawed and carted off huge pieces of potato, while Jamie sat on the stone wall and watched. All winter long, everyone had a potato to eat and eat and eat and eat until no one ever wanted to see or hear of another potato again. And in the spring, Jamie said, I saved a potato eye for a seed, and it's just about time to plant it. And the villagers all cried, oh no! If you promise not to plant it, Jamie, we'll promise before St. Patrick and all the saints to see that you and Eileen always have plenty to cook and eat. We don't want another giant potato around here. Jamie smiled and agreed. And what a perfect life for a lazy, lazy man. And so you see, darling Eileen, Jamie told her, I wasn't such a fool with that leprechaun after all. And Eileen had to admit that Jamie O'Rourke was right. And there's the leprechaun who tricked Jamie with his huge pot of gold. Wasn't that a great story, boys and girls? That Jamie O'Rourke, he was lazy, but he was clever. So, since today is St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to put my little drawing glasses on. I'm going to ask you if you have some extra time to join me for a little directed drawing. So, at home, if you have a piece of paper or a pencil or a crayon or anything that you can grab, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to teach you how to draw a leprechaun. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to draw the letter U. Yep. And once you've made that letter U, you're going to draw a line straight across. And then you're going to make a rectangle up, over, and down. And then right here, how fun is this? We're going to make the leprechaun's beard. We're going to make some little scalloped lines all the way around, and that can be his little orange beard. And you're going to make him a little nose, and a little eye, and another little eye, and a smile. And then, you've got to add a little body here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go one line down this way, and one line down this way. And that crazy little leprechaun, he needs a belt. So we're going to draw 2 lines right there, straight across his belly. And then we're going to make a little square. And the last thing that we're going to do, I think he needs some buttons. So I'm going to actually add some buttons here. But we're going to add his arms up in the air because he's celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Hooray for the Irish. And you're going to add some hands. And then if you really want to get brave, we're going to try and we're going to add a little shamrock at the top. And I'm going to teach you an easy peasy way to draw a shamrock. So first, remember how Mrs. Lucas taught you how to do a heart with the letter V and the M on the top? So we're going to start that. Letter V with an M on the top. And then it might be easy for you to turn your paper. I'm not going to be able to do that, but we're going to do another letter V with an M on the top. And another letter V with an M on the top. And then you make the little stem at the bottom. And there you go. There is your shamrock. And let me remind you to tune in to the YouTube channel again this week because I'm going to be reading you another fun story. And don't forget to take a peek in your bag and taste the rainbow. Hint, hint. All right? And look for those Lucky Charms as well. All right? I love you guys. And I hope everybody's doing well. I miss you already. Great big hugs to you. All right? And let's see if you can give yourselves a great big firecracker. All right? Bye for now.